Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on?
Yo.
What's up, man?
How you feeling? How you feeling?
Oh, what's up, man?
Man, I've been reading up today, man. They talking about that same thing Stanley mentioned yesterday, man. They were talking about Paul George coming to Cleveland.
Yeah.
God, it's an arms race.
I honestly, if that happens, I will be very frustrated because we would just basically, like I said, about just concentrating teams, like just might as well just have four powerhouses, like fuck it, and then have everybody else be the lower tier peasants of the league. Because if you really add Paul George to the Cavs, like I'm not a fan of that.
It takes like some genuine aspect of like the team atmosphere. I don't know. It might be if you can just pick what team you want to be on, then it doesn't make it about the audience, or the fans. In my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think Paul George would do that. Honestly, I don't see that happening. I think they're just blowing smoke to make the masses curious about, oh my God, because right now they're bored, right? They're watching the Cavs look hopeless out there against the Warriors. So they're trying to implant that idea in their head to keep them interested. But I don't really see that going down.
I'm going to say never say never. That's what I'm going to say.
I mean, that's true, man. We saw KD go to the Warriors, so.
Dude, they have to.
Out of breath.
Yo, Pat, they got to do something. Like, Adam Silver has to do something because it's going to look really bad. Like, the Cavaliers are not going nowhere. So you can't have them, like, get blown out the next couple of years in the finals by the same team. So they got to do something.
So, do the Celtics step up, or do the Cavs arm up with, a Melo or Paul George? Because you're right,
the
Warriors.
I think the real test is going to be in the West. I think what they're trying to do is boost the Spurs up so that they can challenge the Warriors in the West by adding Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard. With the Chris Paul, I think they could really challenge the Warriors. At least take them 7.
I agree.
I got them being the Warriors, man.
Yeah, honestly, you would think, but the Spurs also did lose to the Thunder a couple times when they should have beat them, in all honesty, so you never know.
That would be sick, and we'll see how it goes in the offseason.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I just think they're going to ride this Warriors team out for a little while, and then everything's going to balance out once you pay Steph. KD still. Clay's going to leave when it's time for him to re-up. I said that the second. I'm sticking by that. As soon as they signed KD, I knew Clay was not going to sign another extension with the Warriors. He's going somewhere. They're going to keep Draymond, though. Draymond is very valuable to that team for his defense and just the overall grit. So Clay's the odd man out, and then I think the NBA will balance itself out then. But for now, these next 4 years, is Warriors time.
We talking like the finals are already over.
Yeah.
We are.
Even my opinions with logistics and the stars align, and if Darren Williams decides to become 20 years old again, the way that I knew that it was over was that, and it was when LeBron was on the bench and there was 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and it's the first time I've seen LeBron legitimately tired. And LeBron's probably the closest to Michael, Kobe, in that echelon, certainly. But the moment that and I don't think I've ever seen him out of breath in a losing, atmosphere, and then after the game be so exhausted where, it was hard to be patient with the reporters. Rightfully so. I mean, if that was my job, I'd be pretty pissed off for sure. And I think that it was a real passing of the torch. I think, KD's obviously mature enough to be on this stage, and he's obviously, he's probably he could be arguably the best player in the world right now. The guy's 28 years old. LeBron, Kobe, he retired when he was 39. I think that game 2 was the beginning of, unfortunately, the downfall for LeBron. It's going to be hard for him. I just think it's going to be hard for him. I've never seen him exhausted like that before.
Yeah.
Talk about a 180, right?
Realistically, LeBron is being outplayed. I mean, everybody out there has an excuse for him, like, oh, LeBron doesn't have help, LeBron doesn't have this, LeBron doesn't have that. But, let's be real. The eye test shows that KD is clearly the better player in the series. He's playing defense at an all-time. He's getting blocked. He's out. He is a defensive threat because of his size. He's scoring over everyone. It's pretty effortless out there, and LeBron is getting winded, like you said. He is getting tired. But I think that just has to do with the perfect match between KD and this team. I think that's why I think you can't underestimate the power of the right system and the right coach pairing with the players. He fits the system perfectly, and that's probably why he left OKC. Because here he's playing freely. This is pretty crazy, man. He wasn't able to do this with the Warriors with OKC playing with Russell Westbrook.
True.
And he might be.
And I think the coaches are a good indication too, right? You had Scott Brooks, and you have the guy who coached at Florida. Neither of them have won a ring. Steve Kerr has won several.
And honestly, I think Steve Kerr is a hell of a coach. Mark Jackson, was a starter of all that, but people don't realize people talk about it, but I think it's kind of not really. I don't think he gets enough kind of praise for this because literally the year before they were a 6 seed playing, losing, getting bounced out by the Clippers in the first round of the playoffs in 7. The following year, pretty much the same team. The only differences made was bringing Iggy off the bench and starting Harrison Barnes and starting Draymond Green and bringing David Lee off the bench. Pretty much the same team. I think they added Barbosa, and they had Sean. No, I think they might have added Sean Livingston.
I think they added Sean Livingston.
Jared Jack, even though Jared Jack was a hell of a player. But they made that team pretty much that next year. They were 65 and 17 team, winning the NBA championships, and then 73 and 9 the following year. But I don't know. I think that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
And that also shows that system is just perfect for KD. The whole, he can score at will. He doesn't really have to command. He doesn't really have to face too many double teams simply because you can't double team him. Because yeah, you can't. Or otherwise you got to do Clay or Curry or Draymond or whatever. It's just
pick your
scary,
poison.
man. Yeah.
No, I think that's right, man, for sure.
Wait, but what do you guys think?
I gotta get 3 points off before y'all continue. Because I was thinking about this today. Okay, so number one, It had some. Oh, okay. So number one, with LeBron, like, yeah, his stats look good, but this is the biggest issue I've always had with LeBron. As much as I do support him, is that he never like gives his all like scoring wise. Like, yeah, he put up 29, but he really should have 45. Like, he has to really put up like 40 plus in order for them to even have like a fighter's chance. And like, I get it that he's gassed, but like, he should know better. Like, he's been down this road before. The same thing happened when the Spurs got the revenge. Like, he wasn't putting up he put up a good like stats, but it was like he should be putting up 45. He should be putting up 50. Like, and yes, I get it. Like Russell Westbrook, if this was Russell Westbrook, yes, he would jack up a bunch of random shots, but he would have 44 points, like 48 points, and he would keep them in the game. And that's not to say that Westbrook is better, but I'm just saying like LeBron can do better. Like, so, yeah, that was my first point. My second point is that one of the biggest differences between this team and the last 2 years is Matthew Dellavedova. I know a lot of people are going to ignore that, but he was a big pain in the backside for Stephen Curry the last 2 years. And Stephen doesn't have to worry about that. So he can just do his thing on everybody. Plus, he has Kevin Durant, obviously. But, like, the last 2 years, like, Dellavedova was annoying him. Like, they don't have no one that could annoy Durant or Curry. So, like, they're going to keep going off, like, for the rest of the series, however long it lasts. And number three, I didn't like Kerr's lineup. Like, I think it was, like, in the third quarter or something like that. Like, McGee was nowhere to be found. I don't know, like, why that was. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but like he had a weird lineup when like he went to the bench. Like McGee was nowhere to be found. So yeah, I had to get that off.
I saw them using McGee earlier. I know he had a couple alley oops. I was watching the game and they were using him. I think that was kind of the first half though. They were using him, but that isn't. Yeah, the alley oop. That was like pretty much
so dirty.
Yeah. But, so who do they have at center? I'm trying to remember this lineup you're talking about.
I think that's a good point about Dellavedova, too.
Yeah,
definitely. If you take 15 of Steph's points away, it's a closer game. The Clouds may not win, but it's certainly closer.
Yeah, and, I mean, really, truthfully, Pat, you said the Cavs, this is the reason why you gave the Cavs the edge in the series and why you picked them to begin with is because of their bench. But you had...
Dude, Kyle Korver looks like he just
have no
basketball.
Darren Williams looks like he's on his last
He's
leg.
a bird. He needs to go out.
Dude, Darren Williams, it's the exact opposite of what I heard.
J.R. Smith had 0 points. Do you guys realize that?
No way, really?
J.R. Smith did not score.
Yo, Pat, I can't remember the dude's name. It was someone else. It was on the Cowherd show or something like that. This dude was saying the same thing. He was like, man, I thought Cleveland's bench was going to, like, step up. And, like, it's been completely the opposite.
Okay, good. All right. So there's other
I mean, because you would think they would, but Darren Williams looks like he's on his last leg, man. That boy, he looks dead out there. Like, he's sitting there complaining for fouls. He's got no lift on his jumper. He's playing terrible.
And like you said earlier, he was drafted in with Chris Paul.
Yeah, dude. Chris Paul, him and Chris Paul are the same damn age, and Chris Paul's still playing at all-star level. What the fuck happened to Darren Williams?
I was just talking to Matt last night about that. Like, at one point in time, people were actually arguing between Darren Williams, Chris Paul, and Rondo. And it's like, dude,
that 1 year, remember Chris Paul, the year, I think it was like 2008, where he hurt his knee and he was out for like the remainder of the season? So it was like 2008 or 2009 or something like that? Yeah. Darren Williams was the best point guard in the NBA that year. Like, he was, to me, he was the best point guard in the NBA that year. And
he was on the big team with.
It was when he was on the Jazz and they lost. The Lakers knocked him out in 08-09 or 08-09.
Yeah.
And now look at him.
Shell of his former self, unfortunately.
It's been injuries. It's due to but his injuries weren't that serious. I don't know, man. Who knows what happens?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't feel bad, man.
You don't what?
I don't feel bad for Darren Williams, man. He's a legal scammer, man. That dude robbed the whole entire Nets franchise for $98 million. Yeah, man, he scammed the Nets.
Darren Williams.
Dude, he robbed the Nets. The funny thing about it was, at the time, I wanted the Lakers to get him really bad. And
would have been a better option than Steve Nash.
Yeah, at the time.
At least Darren Williams doesn't get a season-ending injury carrying like briefcases or whatever Steve Nash got hurt doing. That's unreal. Like, Steve Nash coming back. Oh wait, Steve Nash picked up a bag. He's hurt.
Yeah, he hurt his back. Yeah. And then he played just the right amount of games so that he could get his contract.
Right, and it's silly. I would have rather had Darren Williams, dude, he's like a step slower than everyone on the court. Unfortunately, Shumpert looks like he stepped up a little bit, but it doesn't.
They're just not as good. Like J.R. Smith,
no.
J.R. Smith played well last year. I mean, he has like moments of good basketball, but let's be real, this is the Warriors. This is like
like LeBron said it after last game. He was like, the question was, how does this team fare against the last 3 times that you guys have played, the Warriors? And LeBron, without skipping a beat, said it is a different team. These are completely different.
Completely different.
Like when I said that, I think the only factor that I thought of was that KD, kind of because I was upset about the Thunder thing, but yeah, dude, I mean, obviously he's ready. He's ready to be a champion, and he's going to be a champion very soon.
So there's no Cavs comeback?
I'll come back to win the championship?
I thought you said 3 and 4, bro. You said Cavs.
Come back to win the championship at this point. Let's see. If the Cavs come back and win the championship, you guys owe me about $1 million. But no, I think realistically, when I saw LeBron defeated in his face as an athlete, like, I mean, I'm sure you guys have, I know, Stanley, I haven't met you, I haven't yet, but I'm sure you're an athlete too. I know what it feels like. Right. So when it's done, right? So LeBron's sitting on the bench and he's thinking to himself, dude, I've got 4 more games of these guys, and I got to go back home, down 2 games. I'm tired as balls, and I'm going to try to drop, as many as I can, but I got to play these guys again and again and again. I think he's looking forward towards next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he texted Melo and Paul George and said, hey guys, are you watching this? Like, let's go. It's time for next season.
Listen, if Paul George goes to the Cavs next year, I'm done with the NBA. I'm done. I won't watch. I'll boycott. I won't buy no 2K. I won't watch any Cavs games. I will just watch the Lakers.
You won't even.
Stan, they gotta do something, Stan. They have to. They cannot let LeBron keep getting annihilated like this for the next 2-3 years. They're going to do something, dude. Adam Silver's probably going to talk to him yo, you need to go on down to Cleveland.
Hey, get Melo or some shit, dude. Do not Paul. For one, they got the highest paying. They have the highest payroll in the league. How are they going to afford to pay Paul George another max player?
Because they're going to trade Love.
I think they got to get rid of Love.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, totally.
dude, they're going to create the narrative that even though Love is playing hard, they're going to be
Love
like,
is actually playing well this series, though.
No,
like,
he
Love,
is, but they're still going to create the narrative.
He got 21 rebounds game one. He dropped 27 last night.
But they have to blame it on somebody. They're not going to blame it on LeBron James, and they're not going to blame it on Kyrie Irving, even though he played like dog crap yesterday. So who they got to go?
Oh, yeah.
They're
By
go
the
with
way,
Kevin Love.
yeah, let me get to Kyrie in a second. You should blame it on Kevin. They'll probably blame it on Kevin Love, but still, you're just going to have just Paul George at the 2, LeBron at the 3.
I like Melo to fit in with him. I think Paul George would be great. It'd be hard because I think Paul George and
they still lose with Melo though. You can't replace Kevin Love. I'm not down to replace Kevin Love for Melo. No, I'm sorry. Kevin Love does more. He rebounds
way more.
Spot up shooter. He doesn't dominate the ball. He gets you those outlet passes and creates those transition fast breaks. No. If I'm the Cavs, I'm not getting rid of Kevin Love for Carmelo.
How about
let me
for
read
Paul
something
George,
real quick for y'all. I'm on the internet right now. Let me read something real quick. It says a trade suggested by King James gospel writer Nathan, whatever his name is, I can't pronounce his last name, would involve the Pacers trading George to the Cavs in exchange for 3 players and a future draft pick. The proposed deal would bring Tristan Thompson, Iman Shumpert, and Cedi Osman along with a draft pick to Indiana.
Oh, my God.
Tristan Johnson, Iman Shumpert, and a first rounder? Yeah? Is that what you said?
And then, huh?
You said Iman Shumpert, Tristan Thompson, and a first rounder?
It says Tristan Thompson, Iman Shumpert, Cedi Osman, and a draft pick to Indiana.
Like a first-round draft pick?
I guess. It doesn't say.
Either way, that is a terrible trade. What? So, okay.
For PG-13 or Miles Turner?
For PG-13.
Yeah, right?
What if we went to Miles Turner?
Miles Turner. I'm not getting rid of Tristan Thompson for Miles Turner. I'm not getting rid of both of them for Miles Turner.
Okay, there's another report. There's another report that says, which we've been predicting, that Carmelo Anthony would come to Cleveland in exchange for Kevin Love, or that the Cavs may look toward Jimmy Butler.
Oh, okay.
That would be interesting for sure.
But what are you going to give them? See, I think the Bulls are kind of dumb, to try to get rid of Jimmy Butler unless you know Jimmy Butler's not signing there. And for one, if I'm the Pacers, I am not trading Paul George for Tristan Thompson and Iman Shumpert in the draft.
Is there any chance they get rid of Kyrie?
No,
they're not getting rid of Kyrie's their brightest. He's 25 years old. He's their player. They're gonna bank on when LeBron retires. And speaking of Kyrie, I am disappointed in him this playoffs or this finals. Okay, I'm like I mentioned in text. I will no longer consider him a point guard in discussions.
Oh, he's never been one.
He is. He's not he is straight up a scoring. He's an Allen Iverson. He's a 2 guard. Whenever I try to see this man, he does not know how to facilitate or create for others. He literally is a deer in headlights when he is dribbling that ball, looking to pass. He turns the ball over. He just needs to. He is not a scorer, man. They need to just. LeBron needs to embrace that role of. He has embraced that facilitating role, but you can't facilitate with Kyrie Irving. It's just not. It doesn't work, especially at this moment on this stage.
Yeah, the thing about Kyrie too, the difference between the Warriors and the Cavs is that exactly the Warriors, they're so unselfish. They seem like such a well-oiled machine that it doesn't matter who scores. And I know that sounds basic, but, you know, you have the Cavs with LeBron and Kyrie. They're Olympians. They're all-stars. They're champions also. But there's no continuity. At least I don't feel like there's any continuity between, you know, the three stars and their bench. I still feel like they're trying to figure it out, while the Warriors at this point are, you know.
Oh, they figured it out.
Right. Steph Curry's asleep on, you know, in the third quarter. You know, rightfully so. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's why it bothered me to see people go like, oh yeah, Stephen Curry after last year's, because no, like Stephen Curry is an underrated passer and playmaker. Like, yeah, he's the top three best, honestly, probably the best shooter of all time, whatever, in my lifetime.
Ooh, yeah, lifetime with you.
Yeah, like, I mean, in terms of off the dribble, catch and shoot, from 30, from 40, all, like, in terms of an all-around shooter. And this man he's got the handles. He doesn't have handles quite as well as Kyrie. Kyrie's number one, Steph's number two. But Stephen Curry is a much better passer and playmaker than Kyrie Irving. And I think that is a huge difference maker in their games.
Oh, yeah. Like when Kyrie's out of control, he's out of control. Steph Curry is in control when it looks like he's out of control.
When Steph Curry's version of being out of control is shooting those ridiculous ass threes that he was last game. But he only does that when they're front running, like, oh, I want to be up by 11 instead of 10, you know, like, or you know what I mean? Like, he just wants to like just add an extra like layer of fuck my life to his opponent.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Like that scurry that he had against LeBron, you know, he was like, you know, he faked driving in, he to the back.
Oh man, he embarrassed LeBron. LeBron's been embarrassed twice by KD and Kerr. And the funny thing is I predicted. I had a feeling like LeBron was gonna get it, like have a few embarrassment plays, and I thought I predicted like LeBron or KD was going to dunk on LeBron like pretty bad, and pretty much he's been embarrassed just enough. Like I don't know, being dunked on might even be better than like getting like put in the spin cycle, than getting slipping on the perimeter. You know what I mean? Like, just little things like that.
Absolutely, right. Getting dunked on happens. But dude, LeBron James slipping and falling on it, you know, just falling. Damn, that's tough. And granted, he's giving it his all, and he is the heart and soul of the Cavs, and maybe still in effect, you know, the heart and soul of the league in a lot of ways. You know, even though KD and Steph are making a strong case for that, but yeah, dude, it's got to be tough being LeBron right now.
All right, we got a minute left, man.
Minute left.
All right, Game 3 predictions.
Game 3 in Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
You know who I'm going to pick. Because at this point, probability says that something should happen with the Cavs. So I'm going Cavs. Cavs win by 8, and Durant and Curry, you know, give LeBron a high five and say, all right, well, we're going to make it quick from here.
Hammond.
I got the Warriors. It's a sweep.
Yeah. That's funny.
Just get over with.
You know what's funny?
Just get over with.
I want next season.
Oh shit. We only got 10 seconds left.
You know what's funny?
Man, we out.
Back. How much time do we have? Hello?
Yo.
Wait, how much time?
Oh,
damn! I didn't even get to make my prediction.
Man, my man. I said it was a minute.
Wait, is it still on?
Oh, we could try.
Is it still on?
It didn't click off.
All right. I got Warriors winning 3-0. Close game. It's going to be the closest we'll ever see. Warriors will pull away late. Curry will hit some wild shots. They still won't have an answer for KD. Warriors win 108. Cavs 104.
Unfortunately, that sounds like what it's going to be like.
Man, they need to just get over with, man. Just get this sweep, man. Just get it over with, man, so we can talk about football.
Yeah, I'm ready for just off season. Find out what the Lakers are gonna do. Find out about next season. This season's last year.
Oh, dear. Well, if we're gonna talk about football, you know that it's gonna be the Jets' year next year.
Oh Lord. Jets, eh?
Hey man, we wear green like money.